And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, in the grand finals. Nony up 3-2 against Mondragon in the grand finals of the PokerStrategy.com TSL. And at the top, we have Mondragon, literally is a repeat of game one. We have Mondragon at the top as the green Zerg and Nony at the bottom as the blue Protoss. You know, if we just sort of review the games that we've seen so far, Nony's been varying it up quite a bit. I mean, even though he's opened with Corsair Reaver, in those first few games, he did a lot of different things with them, you know, transitioning into a faster third base on Andromeda, going for a bigger sort of harass in that game on Tornado, which didn't end up going so well, doing the really big harass on Fighting Spirit, which went beautifully in game one on this map. He instead went for the Zealot Archon push early on. In the last game, he did this mass Dark Templar. It's kind of funny to see that Nony has been employing such a huge range of strategies, and for the most part, Mondragon has been going 12 hatch and then straight into the 5 hatch Spire Hydra build. Only on Andromeda has he really done something drastically different.
Right, and he has kind of modified it. We've seen him open lurkers, and we've seen where he did that kind of 6 hatch before Hydra Den.
Yeah.
So it hasn't been identical, but like you say, it's following the same kind of flow. The one difference was the 9 pool on Outsider, which is a little strange because I think the standard there is going to be Overpool because that cleanly does well against a 2-gate. So we can see Nony playing a little differently here, adapting. He's sending the probe in first, and now the 2 drones are going to have to deal with the probe. And this, oh, what? It just walks right by, just drifting by, high five, and then there they go. He's oh, nice. Mondragon blocking with the probe. Nony going to glitch it through, and there it goes, the drone making the 12 hatch. So a very nice little break for him here in Game 6.
Yeah, but it's a little bit of an issue right now for Mondragon. He did have to pull one guy off minerals. Nony is going to get this Nexus up much earlier. So, I mean, it's not a terrible position right now for Nony. I mean, I think that's one of the benefits of this 2-player map is you get to scout your opponent on 8 right away.
Yep, definitely. We see the pool going down for Mondragon, now droning back up. Nony responding by putting that Nexus down first, now going to be adding the Forge. And Nony just getting full scouting information here. Mondragon deciding he wants to get in a bit of a fight with that probe with his drone. That's going to soften it up. So when he goes for the third, it's that much easier to battle the probe over there. Meanwhile, the probe headed straight over to kind of 2 o'clock, getting its shields back for the inevitable fight.
See that Forge going down, and look how fast that gateway is going down for Nony. And Nony's going to be adding on that extra pylon so we can get his gas and the cybernetics core up very early on. He's holding off on that probe right on 16 food, just the way that we Protoss players like it. I don't know why I said we, I play Zerg, but in StarCraft 2 I've been playing Protoss, so But anyways, Mondragon doing the normal thing, getting his gas up pretty early, got it before 14 food, and getting 2 sets of Zerglings to manage the map a little bit better. Almost identical to play to what we saw in Game 1.
Oh, we've got a bit of a drone on the hold position on the ramp. Surprising that he would do that. I mean, there's nothing special going on in the main. Nony glitching it through, as you can... on Destination, there's the mineral at the back, so he just moved up the ramp, clicked on that, and glided right through the drone, kind of defeating the purpose. We see 2 cannons going up for Nony, so he's really pushed his build order back here, getting those cannons a little bit later, as you said. That lets you get more probes out more quickly. And just waiting to see how Mondragon is going to respond. His build really looks like it's going to be standard 3 hatch into lair, and then we'll have to see how he takes it from there.
And look how early Nony's getting that cybernetics core. At 18 food, he starts it. That's so important in this matchup to get that up so early on. And I'm curious to see if Nony's going to be varying it up a little bit, if he wants to be getting some sort of early thing. I can't remember. I had a thought, but it just escaped me. Some sort of like non-early Stargate, really. I mean, it could be getting early Zealots. It could be getting some sort of early Reaver, maybe just doing some sort of Dragoon Reaver push or something like that. That would really excite me. But we do see that Nony is building that second cannon at his entrance. Instead of building it at the far right, kind of tucked away by that forge, he's building it farther over to the left so he can defend that assimilator a little bit easier with the Zealots early on. He had a lot of issues with that in that first game. So sort of cool adjustments right now to see that he's preparing for that.
Right. Mondragon, actually, his build is a little different. Typically, we're going to see that Spire go up, and then the 3 hatcheries going down after that. He cut a few drones, actually, just so he could get the 4th hatchery before the Spire going up. Spire going up now, and
Zealot at the right again.
Oh,
Nony with
wow.
that harassment, taking out another drone. I don't know how that managed to sneak out. I mean, I sort of assumed that Mondragon Zerglings were going to be at the ramp, and I really wasn't focusing on that right side. And then when I waltzed over there was a drone just sort of tearing it up. And look at him working on the hatch, doing a few hundred hit points of damage, not too much. And the Zerglings are now coming in for defense, and this is just not the spot you want to be in as Mondragon. Yeah, down 0-2 right now. Or 3-2.
0-2 in the last 2 games, so we'll give you that.
Thank you. There we go.
But yeah, a lot of mining time lost there, and especially because it looks like a layer was put up by accident, going to be canceled. But a lot of mining time was lost because Zergling's speed was not complete, so those reinforcements came in a little later, and Mondragon was forced on taking out the scouting probe. Focused on that. Stargate now complete, a single Corsair out. And Templar Archives going up, adding a few gateways, 2 more coming up. So everything looks like Mondragon is set on taking out this assimilator, but this isn't game 1. Nony has adapted, as you said, and that cannon going to defend the assimilator nicely.
And it looks like Nony is doing the exact same thing that he did in game 1. I'm literally noticing no difference in this build. I've spent most of the game just clicking around on his buildings, trying to see if there's going to be any deviations, but no. He really seems to want to do that Zealot Archon push, and we see that +1 attack upgrade is almost at halfway, so those Zealots are going to be doing a lot of damage to any defenses that are going to be coming up here. Mondragon, in the meantime, making tons of drones. There's that 6th hatch down at the top right. That Corsair is going to poke around. It has 1 Overlord kill, but for the most part, Mondragon's really sort of getting in his zone and is going to be prepared to go into the late game coming up real soon here.
Right. You mentioned Nony playing the same build, but Mondragon playing a very similar build, if not identical as well. Getting that Hydra Den after the 6th hatchery, which I gotta say is a little atypical for what we see on this map normally. Now putting down the Evolution Chamber, starting to get his sunken colonies just to defend his ramp and defend his 3rd base, as Nony is probably going to be pushing out soon to put a little pressure, free up some space so he can take a 3rd base.
We see some Scourgies popping in there, checking out what's up. The Archon's there just to make sure that he polices that just a little bit, but we're increasingly getting a little nervous for Zerg because that +1 is slowly approaching completion. If you can get a good Zealot Archon timing right about now, that can be huge. I mean, we see the Lurkers is just started now for Mondragon, and I'm really worried about Mondragon's natural expansion. The defenses there are just a little thin. I mean, at this expo at the right, that's locked up tight, but not so much at the natural. Those 2 Sunkens are super vulnerable, and here comes Nony getting ready to push out with his first big Zealot Archon army.
Right, and Mondragon's build is based on surviving this first timing, because we can see he can't support production from all his hatcheries thus far. There's usually 1 hatchery with all 3 larvae. Oh, a couple Zerglings getting picked off there. If we look in the main, there's all 3 larvae sitting there. As I mentioned, Mondragon cannot support that. So this is a very nice timing for Nony as he moves in, quickly gets around, surrounding those Hydras. Very nervous for Mondragon here. He's going to have to be careful not morphing that sunken colony. I don't know why he's waiting so long.
Now he's targeting the Archon, and all the Zerglings are falling. That sun colony is going to go down. This expansion looks like it's going to fall. Nony might be able to take the game right here. The drones are clustering up, trying to do some sort of defense, but the Archon shot takes out like 6 drones. Some Zerglings coming in from the back, and Lurkers being more for Mondragon. That was the only hope that he had to possibly defend this attack, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Nony might just win the game right here.
Right, and Nony has that completed +1. This is so frustrating as Zerg. Your Zergling's getting taken out in 2 hits. Your reinforcements just melt. You need something else. You need Hydralists, you need Mutalisks, you need Lurkers. Mondragon has none of them. He has no Hydralist upgrades. Good game, well played. Congratulations. Wow, Nony coming back 4 straight games to take down the PokerStrategy.com TSL 4-2 against Mondragon.
And afterwards, we're going to be having a winner, an interview with our winner, so please stay tuned for that. But that was a phenomenal series that happened right now. I mean, I could not believe the way that Nony was able to swing it back in there. I'm really curious to know, you know, in the interview, I'm definitely going to ask what his mindset was after the first 2 games. I mean, with all the preparation he's done and all the times I've been tuning into his stream, I haven't seen him do any of the strategies that he deployed today. and it was phenomenal to see the way that he was sort of a little off-kilter in those early games, but came back with these brilliant displays of harassment, control, great teching, solid macro, micro, everything, just top-of-the-line play, and very deserving of his spot as first place.
And I believe we have Nony live right now. Nony, are you here?
Yeah, what's up?
Oh my God, Nony, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Actually, I just got over the flu, so if I sound a little rough or tired, it's just sickness. I'm absolutely ecstatic over the TSL.
Dude, that's what great news to hear that you're recovering from your illness. You just won first place in pretty much the largest, actually not pretty much, the largest foreigner tournament that we've ever seen. Just incredible turnout. So I'm really curious, how did you prepare for this series?
Well, I looked over a couple of Mondragon replays that I was able to get a hold of, and just looking over to see the way he approaches Zerg vs Protoss, the way he likes to play it, what he likes to do, what he's comfortable doing, and I tried to figure out a style of play that I felt would not necessarily hard counter that. I wasn't really looking for hard counters, but just a general way to play to mess with the way that he plays. And so my answer was kind of the Corsair Reaver, and then shift into gateway play, possibly power off of the 3 base and just try to go for some kind of bust in the mid game there.
I'm curious what your mindset was after those first 2 games, especially after the second game when you left without the GG.
Oh, I was really flustered, man. Like, I was not playing well, at least, by my own standards. I'm going to have really high standards for myself. But yeah, like, it wasn't my best play. It was certainly falling far short of what I was doing in practice, but I got to give credit to Mondragon because, I can do my build against a computer perfectly every time, and it's definitely the other player that's causing problems for you. So he was definitely doing things to fluster me, and I lost those games. Some moments it felt pretty bad, like I was playing really bad, but I still felt that if I played my game, I would have been winning those games. Like, I felt like my game plan was ready to go, and mechanics that I'm certainly capable of would have enabled me to do that game plan and get those wins. So I still felt like I can win the series. I just need to start playing the way that I ought to.
When did you feel that momentum swing back? Like, when mentally were you saying, okay, cool, I'm back on my game and I'm going to win this?
The fighting spirit game, I think. Once I started to get a little action going with the shuttle harass, that was like the meat and potatoes of my PvZ was shuttle harass, and I just hadn't gotten it going yet. And once I was comfortable enough to get that going with a little bit of success, I felt like I could play well for the rest of the series and make sure that I capture the whole series.
Yeah, and I'm curious about your game on Outsider. How did you prepare for that strategy? Because it's kind of a kooky mass DT strategy that we haven't really seen in a really long time.
Yeah, I was trying to decide between either going 2-gate Zealot and then doing a backdoor expand and kind of playing for a longer game, or to do this one base tech. And with the 1 base tech, I was either going to do the DTs or I was going to do a little Reaver thing. And I decided that the Reaver thing I wasn't completely comfortable with, because I thought he might have some experience against that, and he might know how to counter that. And if he felt it coming, I felt it wouldn't work against Mondragon, because of his crisis management. But I felt that the DTs, I don't think anyone of the thousands watching the stream, or Mondragon, or obviously you guys, nobody saw it coming. Not a single person could predict that, and so I just went with that. I felt like it's a decent build that people should be doing it more. I mean, it's risky or whatever, but it's a pretty legit build. So I just decided to try that out. I didn't really feel comfortable playing a longer game on Outsider because I think it favors Zerg.
Yeah, and tell us, how are you going to celebrate? What do you plan to do with the money, other than getting the flu?
I don't know. I might spend maybe about 1,000 of it on some fun stuff, but most of it's going to go for bills and loans and whatnot, or just to save it. I mean, yeah, it's kind of boring, but what can you do?
All right, awesome. Well, thanks so much for the interview, Nony. Right over to you, Chill. I believe we're going to hear something about an extended interview happening in DJ Week's Live on 3 coming up this afternoon.
Yeah, you can tune in to listen to Nony get interviewed by DJ Wade. As you said, that's djwheat.tv. He'll be on Live on 3. And we've got to wrap up some contests we had. I want to say thanks again, or congratulations again, to Ray1234 who won the raffle. He's going to be going to Korea with a buddy to attend the OSL finals. That's a pretty sick prize right there. And then there was the bracket contest. We have Not Ranger Joe winning it with 27 points. Armatai and Scruff tying. Armatai taking second with 22 points. Scruff taking it third with 22 points as well. So congratulations to those guys. I can't see right now what your prizes are, as Team Liquid is completely flooded right now, but I'm sure you've won something sick, and I think that's going to be it. So, I mean, this was the PokerStrategy.com TSL. Thank you for everyone who tuned in. I mean, that's the bread and butter. That's the support we need to keep running these. Thank you to PokerStrategy.com for giving the money that we needed to run this tournament, giving the support, being an integral part of this tournament. Thank you to all the Team Liquid staff, all the contestants, putting in all this time to make this tournament amazing. And thank you, number one. I'll give you an Internet high five to my best casting buddy, Day 9. For
I'm glad to be your casting butter.
Butter. I haven't eaten, but yeah. It was great casting this, and yeah, I think it was a successful tournament.
Yeah, I just absolutely love this tournament. Like the biggest foreigner tournament we've ever seen, and Nony and Mondragon stealing their positions as some of the greatest StarCraft players of all time. I mean, with StarCraft 2 coming out, I'm delighted to see that Mondragon was able to demonstrate that he has been able to stay at the top of his game for pretty much 10 years of StarCraft, and Nony demonstrating that, you know, with the right mindset and good practice, he can come back and be the best foreigner out there with just a month or two of practice before this tournament.
Right. There was a lot of great moments. This will go down in history as probably the best StarCraft tournament that was ever run for foreigners. Congratulations to Nony and Mondragon, and thank you to everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time when there's StarCraft 2 TSL. I think that's going to be it.
Yeah, I'm Sean, Day 9 Plot.
I'm Chill.
Thanks so much for tuning in, everyone. Cheers.
Take care.